All right. Disappointed to say the least. Didn't see that coming. We practiced well. The last 2 years against Oklahoma, the combined score had been tied. And, that didn't resemble anything. That football in all three phases didn't resemble anything that we put on tape this year. And credit Oklahoma. They beat us soundly. Brent had those guys ready to go after the 2 losses. And home crowd was into it. And they played with a lot more energy and a lot more execution than we did. Offensively, if you look at it, Garrett really struggled after that first drive in the first and second quarter. Didn't play like himself. They beat us up front, especially I thought during that after our first initial drive there in the second quarter where the game got away from us a little bit. They got after us up front. That's really the first time it's been done all year. I thought we got in on first down on the goal line. Thought we got in on second down. And that's not a knock on officiating. But here we are. We're playing a national TV game. We don't have a goal line camera. Not one single goal line shot, whether the ball got over or not, which is amazing to me. I don't think we win the game, but it's a hell of a lot more interesting. But I really feel strongly that we got in on first down for sure. And on second down, it'd been nice to have a shot at it. We didn't have any video of it, so they couldn't overturn it in the Rock. They couldn't overturn it here because there's no video of it, which I don't know how that happens. And then offensively, we can't be any quality teams if our pass game is in the shape it was tonight. It probably as bad as stats passing as I've ever been associated with. We had drops, we missed reads, we missed throws. We got hit more tonight than we have. And then our third down execution just wasn't good enough. Defensively, they pretty much did what they wanted to. If you look at it, basically 10 of 14 on end of possessions down. We couldn't get off the field. They exposed us in coverage. They took advantage of matchups. They went after some people tonight. We didn't fit the run, especially early. We didn't fit the run very well, and like I said, couldn't get off the field. And so, disappointed. I can promise you this: that won't be how we finish. We've been 9 games where we played football at a pretty high level. Even the games we lost, Penn State, competitive, 1-score game going in the fourth quarter, lose on a Hail Mary, and then up in the fourth quarter against Oklahoma State. And all that, we played pretty sound football. Looked like a well-coached unit and played and competed. And I don't want to get into it until I watch the tape, but we didn't coach good enough. We didn't execute good enough, and that didn't resemble anything that the 2023 Mountaineers have been. And to say that I'm disappointed would be an understatement at the least. Quite frankly, I'm pissed and nearly embarrassed by what we put on the tape tonight. So, questions?
So, Neal, start with the defensive problem. You guys haven't given up explosive plays to that extreme, most of the year. So, you said went through some of that.
Yeah, they spread us out. They spread us out and put us in one-on-one situations, which credit to them. They hadn't done that as much. Now that's in Levy's background, and I know they're giving him a hard time, but he's a hell of an offensive coach. He everywhere he's been, they've been good on offense, and credit to him what they did. And they've got a whole lot. Their offense stats really good, and they got a bunch of analysts and stuff that have been really good offensive coaches as well. And so what they did is they spread us out and made it a one-on-one game. And we didn't do a good enough job putting our kids in position where we could get them some help. And they exposed us, and they hit us with some runs. They blocked us pretty well up front, and we missed tackles at the second and third level. And then in coverage, they RPO'd us. They got us and got some guys in some run fits and exposed some guys in some one-on-one.
In comparing some of the pass catching, it seemed like they made some tougher catches, some out-of-frame catches, things like that. Your team didn't as much as that.
Yep. If you're going to – I think, Kevin, you're right on. I mean, to win games like this, you got to make some tough plays, and this is a game we really felt like was winnable. I know we were double-digit underdog and all that, but we really felt like we'd played our best football the last 2 weeks, and so that's why I'm kind of blindsided by this. We practiced well. Thought the kids prepared well. We went down and scored an opening drive. Now, we didn't much get in their way on their opening drive, but they made a lot of really good plays, but they also made a lot of plays that were easy too. Quarterback was pretty clean. They had a bunch of catch and runs. Drake Stoops is a hell of a football player. Now, this may be his biggest night receiving, but he really is a hell of a football player. He's one of those kids that you don't appreciate him when you're going against him, but then when you watch the tape, you're like, man, that kid's maximizing his talent, and he's a good player. He'll go play in the NFL, which is good for him. But no, we didn't make enough competitive plays. They did, and that's why they kicked our tail.
Offensively, you guys had some opportunities in the first half, even after the first drive, which was successful, but just couldn't take advantage. I mean, you had the punt.
Yeah, that was disappointing. That was kind of the night in a nutshell. They muffed the punt. We did a good job recovering it, and then we have to kick a long field goal rather than. And the thing that irritates you, and Garrett's played really well most of the year, but tonight wasn't his best. And it was really decision making. I can deal with some errant throws and all that kind of stuff, but on that series in particular, we had a couple good plays, and sometimes when you see too much, he didn't see it very good, and he'll learn from it, and he'll get better. I didn't do a good enough job putting our guys in positions either. We had a lot of people open in the pass game, and we had more drops tonight than we've had probably all year when you go back and look at it. But we didn't. We're a lot better offensively than what we did, and there's couple drives. That one irritates me, and the one where we didn't get it in. That even with on first and second down, which I thought we scored, still should be able to score on third or fourth down there too, and we didn't. And like I said, credit to them. That's the first time that we've been beaten up front all year, and they got us. They got after us.
Neal, you mentioned Levy. He has been criticized around here quite a bit. I'm just wondering, from your perspective as a longtime coordinator and play caller, what is that like, sort of dealing with that stuff on a week-in, week-out basis?
Well, I think my mantra is I don't listen to any criticism from anybody I wouldn't take advice from. And I doubt there's the people criticizing him have the credentials he has. That would be, if you do this long enough, you're gonna like to have some calls back. Like anytime you're 70 to 80 plays in a game, there's going to be some where you'd like to have a few calls back. I think how you evaluate it, are you putting your players and your team in a position to win a game? And I just think over a long time, and I don't have a personal relationship with him. I know him. We see each other on the road recruiting. I like him, but my professional opinion, and he's a really good offensive football coach. And he exposed some matchups tonight, and they did a good job mixing it up. And I think he's given them chances. And so, that's my thought on it.
You've noted the past couple of weeks you've been a little bit more basic, more fundamental defensively because of the injuries, youngsters, all of that. Does that then make it more difficult to try to adjust or change anything when another team is hitting things like Oklahoma was? Yeah,
well, I mean, we don't carry a lot of defense right now, and part of that's because we can't handle a whole lot of defense, and so we have basically what we have, and so now we didn't play good enough defense tonight. Even we didn't play. We didn't tackle. We didn't tear off blocks. We weren't very good in coverage. So don't get me wrong. There's things coaching wise in all three phases that we should have done better. We did not coach good enough tonight. You don't have a game like that where we did not. We obviously didn't have our kids prepared. And we didn't coach well enough. And that starts with me. And at the same token, though, is I can promise you we'll finish a hell of a lot better than we look tonight, because that ain't been the team that we've been coaching all year. What you got, Bo?
Coach, you've had some battles with these guys. I know you beat them last year. A lot of close games. I know it hasn't always gone your way for the most part, but will you miss playing OU?
No, I don't care. I like them. I respect their fan base, but I don't care. I'm pissed about this game. I hate to end it like this, but like I said, you probably weren't here early, but I said it's been a tie score the last 2 years if you combine the scores. I like coming here. I think it's a passionate fan base. They do a great job in game. I thought it was electric in game with their atmosphere. I really respect you know, all the guys that, as a coordinator and as a head coach that I faced, you know, whether it was Coach Stoops when he's head coach or Lincoln when he was here, and now to Brent, you know, those guys, all three of those guys do it the right way. And we've had some really good battles, won here, you know, lost some close games here, and, you know, obviously got smoked tonight. And so, but I respect the fan base, respect the program, but, you know, I'm kind of whoever's on our schedules who will play. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.